Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Surviving Your First Week series, where I play out the first week one day at a time and walk you through all of my thoughts, why I'm making the decisions that I am, and giving you a bit of an insight into my big priorities at the time. This is day 3, so before we get into the good stuff, if you're just clicking on this video and haven't seen the first 2 days of this series, there will be a link down in the description, and all of these videos are sorted into a little playlist so that you can keep watching each episode in order. With all that out of the way, let's get into surviving day 3 of your first week in Build 42. Alright, so we are jumping back into day 3. Also have had a whole bunch of comments from you guys, and one of the biggest ones was to mention to new players something about the aim outline, which I think is a really good thing to mention for new players. I personally have turned this off, but the aim outline is a really helpful tool for new players especially, that can help you in combat. So if you go to your options, I believe it's in the display settings. So melee target outline, that's in the UI options under cursor. Now, what this will do is, if we can find a zombie real quick, it's pretty quiet out here now. We've really done some clearance work. How are we doing on our skills? Carpentry level 2. Okay, so we still need to catch life and living at 12 PM. I have also been informed that in build 42, watching life and living will only take you to maximum of level 3 by default. You can turn this off in the sandbox options, but by default, level 3 is the maximum that you can learn through watching TV now. The rest has to be learned through like crafting and stuff. Just a heads up on that. Now, we've identified the fire station as our future base. We do need a car, really, to make that work. Hopefully we get the chance to show you this aim outline. I'm also going to try and show you how to lose zombies today, if we can. We've talked a lot about how to fight zombies, how to take them on, but I would really like to show you guys how to deal with things when you've bitten off a little bit more than you can chew. You know, what happens if I've accidentally aggroed too many zombies? So we'll see if we can do that as well. Breaking into the garages here because there's always a chance that we'll find something useful. A small file set is kind of handy and will allow us to do some like weapon repairs and stuff like that. I think we already have a gas can back at base, so we're not going to worry about that too much. Extra one is always good, but right now, again, we're just trying to prioritize a little bit of space. I don't want to grab a whole bunch of stuff. A couple of the big goals that I'm now thinking about. We are at the point now where very soon I'm going to want to be moving base. Once we've moved base, 2 of the big issues become water and electricity, which will both shut off soon. It can be any point, like could be any day now, could be any time within the next couple of weeks. When that happens, I need to be prepared. But put a pin in that. I'll just show you how the zombie targeting works. So you can see how when the zombie gets close enough for me to hit them, there's an aim outline and it shows me that I could hit that zombie. Now, that's really helpful for new players. It can help you determine the range of weapons. So if you do want to have that enabled, you can do so. Me personally, I don't need it anymore, so I don't tend to have it on, but it is very helpful for new players, and it probably is something that I should have mentioned in one of the earlier videos. We have a trailer here, which is nice to know. Trailers are always useful. But yes, we're looking for stuff that's going to help us prepare for water and the electricity both shutting off. Electricity is a much bigger thing to solve because we will need a generator, we will need gas or fuel, and we will need a generator operating manual. Water, however, is a bit simpler to resolve. We can either build a rain collector, which off the top of my head used to be level 3 carpentry. Yes, it still is. We can either learn level 3 carpentry and build us a rain collector, which isn't too difficult, but the water will be dirty, of course, and we will need to purify it. Or we can search anywhere with an office to try and find a water dispenser, which is usually what I like to try and do, because that water is always going to be clean. I'm hoping to get over towards the police station today, and the reason I'd like to try and do that is because I'm thinking there will probably be a good chance of a water dispenser, and there will also probably be a good chance of a vehicle. Okay, gloves. Hugely useful item. Gives you extra scratch and bite protection for your hands. Very, very useful. No reason not to have them if you find them. I'm going to go back into the fire station because we're coming around to 12 p.m. I just want to make sure that we watch the TV at 12 because we're still trying to get to level 3 in carpentry. Once we get there, the crafting opens up a whole bunch. So as long as we can get to level 3, we should be fine. Okay, we have a tailoring book that we could just be reading in the meantime. So why not, I suppose? No reason we shouldn't do that. While we're talking about like the water problem and the power problem as well, the only other sort of like option, if you don't have a water dispenser and you can't build a rain collector yet, really your only other option is to fill containers with water before the water shuts off. You could use cooking pots for that, roasting pans, bowls, whatever you want to use, or you could put them out in the rain for it to rain and fill the containers. But those are second best to the ones we've discussed already. All right, so we're gaining some carpentry now. I'm hoping we can get to level 3. There we go. Okay, so we're on level 2. That gives us the ability, I believe, to make fences and floors. Might just be floors, but that will be helpful if we need it. But level 3 is where it really opens up for us. That's when we can build like rain collectors and composters, which will allow us to do some farming and things like that. Prepare for the long term a little bit. That's the end of this one. We can turn this off for now. Alrighty. I think I'm going to start placing some items in here. Instead, we can kind of use this as a little springboard over to the fire station. We're going to go... Oh, there's a foraging book here too. I'm going to go ahead and just put some my gun and my ammo in here and probably my spare weapon as well. We'll make this just like a gun cabinet for us for the time being. That alone will free us up a lot of space. I'm going to drop a couple of books off. Now, I'm not going to worry about moving our whole storage over here because of the bit of a limit that we have on time to make these videos. It's much easier for me to move everything over once we've got a vehicle, as we discussed in the last video. So we're not going to worry too much about everything right now. But with the rest of this day, I would like to start looking for a vehicle seriously. And to do that, our best bet will be anywhere that has parking. So generally speaking, anywhere with a parking area like this, you're more likely to find vehicles because quite simply, there's just going to be more spawns. So the police department is the next one over. I am, however, under no illusion that it might be a little bit busy. So we do need to just be careful and scout it out. But there will be a big parking area around the back. And in my experience, there's often some vehicles that like have police liveries to them that are quite good looking. So it would be nice if we could find one of those. This is one of the many locations that have been overhauled in Build 42 as well. It does have a different look to it now. If you've seen this building in Build 41, when you come here, no doubt it'll look a little bit different. And one thing I really like about Build 42 is that, you know, if I didn't want to fight these two zombies, I don't have to anymore. I'll probably have to at some point anyway, so there's no real downside to me just pulling them now and fighting them. But I could just jump over this fence and go around the back if I wanted to. And here at some point, we will, just for demonstration purposes, pull a larger group to show you how we would deal with losing those zombies. Might happen naturally in the meantime, so we'll see. Ah, there's a jackpot item right there. That is a water dispenser. That is exactly what we're looking for. Part of what we're looking for. No alarm on this building, so that's good. Some broken windows, though. Again, we're just using the environment to our advantage as we've done so far. The shotgun here and a holster. We'll definitely take that holster. The shotgun, sure, I think we have enough rounds for that right now, so we'll go ahead and grab that. I don't think we have a shotgun back at base. I could be wrong. We might have already grabbed one. Couple of zombies just chilling out right now. One by the red exit sign. I love how the lighting just seeps in now. This person's got one of the double holsters, shoulder ones. Now, sodas at the moment are bugged, and I do just want to mention that these can near enough be used to completely negate the need for sleep right now. You will not need sleep if you use soda. However, I know for a fact that won't be forever. That is a bug. They will be fixing it. Now, we do have a vehicle over here. And there is always a chance that one, it will be unlocked, or two, there is a key in the police department. Oh, there's a bigger group over there too. You know what? we're going to start by looting the police department just to make sure that there's no keys in this building. I would usually do it the other way around and check the vehicle first, but looking at how busy it is out there, we're going to check all the containers in this building first. Oh, aviator glasses. We've got to take those. Style points. No other reason than they look cool. We've got cigarettes in here. Police stations are one of the best places to find cigarettes. Turns out a lot of cops smoke. Now will be extra rooms. Let's see if this one's open. Nope. So this is the gun lockup in here, the little armory. Okay, we have a key to the police station here. Now, this is already huge. The reason that's so big is because now we can actually access the armory room. We do also have a police vest here, which is a tried and true classic. It does, however, add discomfort. So we'll see whether or not this makes us uncomfortable. If it does, we might have to drop it. Talked about discomfort in the last episode. It's also added a little bit of weight to my character here. We've also found a flashlight. Doesn't seem like I'm carrying one on me. As much as I like the holster, that doesn't work with the shoulder holster. It doesn't work with the vest. Instead, we're going to grab this one. And then we're going to take the flashlight. Now, there is another bug at the moment where batteries are being drained without being used. Again, hopefully that'll be fixed soon. Looks like we can wear this vest relatively comfortably. This will give us a good amount of like bite and scratch protection. Again, I'm just making sure to check everything. There is a stench over here. Is that the zombies I've already killed, or is somebody taking a number 2 in the toilet? We're just eating all the fresh food we find. Kind of important, just to reduce the amount of food we're using at home. Rubber, gloves, box of garbage bags. Okay, so garbage bags are actually a lot more useful than you might think because we can use them to build rain collectors. Box of nails, also huge. We want to grab those wherever we find them because you will never have enough nails once you start building at your base. However, we are, I would say, using up a lot of our inventory space here of different things. It might come to dropping the shotgun. If there's anything I'm going to drop, it's probably going to be the firearms because I can always come back for those later. And right now, I don't even have shotgun shells, so I can't really make the most of them anyway. I'm sure that will trigger a whole bunch of people if I leave a shotgun behind, but the truth of the matter is that is not my primary concern right now, and especially for a new player, if you've never used guns before, you're likely to use them in the wrong way and get yourself killed. Okay, the vest is now making us uncomfortable, so that is going to come off. I'm going to opt to leave that behind. Let's get into this locked armory here. 308 rounds, shotgun shells. This actually might give us a perfect opportunity to show what happens if we attract too many zombies and we want to get away. We're going to demonstrate 2 things at once here. The first one is going to be how you will never have enough ammo. And the second one will be how to lose zombies. We're going to do a little bit of both. Now, I am probably going to need to head back to base and do a quick drop off at the police, like maybe at the fire station. There is extra areas that key could be in the lockup section, but I want to guess at this point that we're probably not going to find anything. Let's quickly run back to base, and then we're going to do a little bit of demonstration with the zombie pulling. Real quick, let's just drop this off, and we'll get rid of these zombies. Hatchet would be a really good one to keep on me for chopping trees, but I don't think we're really going to need to worry about that because we've learned most of the carpentry that we're going to need for now. Okay, shotgun shells. So this will be an interesting bit of discovery for me. This will actually be my first time using firearms in build 42. However, I know that the system has changed so that you do actually need to aim at your target now. It is no longer a case of just randomly acquiring targets. We are also going to go check that vehicle if we can without drawing that horde, and then we will start getting into doing the shoosty, and we will try and orchestrate a successful escape for you guys. One of the biggest things that new players do is draw too many zombies and then not know how to deal with it. And if any of you are new players, I'm sure you've drawn more zombies than you intended to before, and probably just ended up dying due to fatigue. It does happen. You fatigue yourself running away and draw more zombies in the process, and then you're not sure what to do with it. And you know, that happens. But again, we knew that there was a large group over there, so I'm taking an alternate route. We might draw, if there's any zombies on the other side of the fence here, we might draw them, but I would like to try and get to that car without drawing too much attention, and then we'll draw that group anyway and try to sort of get away. So this zombie here, I'm going to draw away. One thing to note, if you're finding that zombies are making their way to you in a steady stream when you're fighting other zombies like this, and saying bashing this zombie skull in, and you find that, you know, another zombie comes walking in from somewhere, and then another one, and they just kind of start trickling in. That's because in default apocalypse settings, you will now find that some of them have pinpoint hearing, and they will be able to locate you based on the sounds of combat. It wasn't previously a thing, now it is. The lock was broken. We have an M14 mag. That's such a shame. So we can check the condition of the vehicle here. We have 5 out of 31 gas. So we know that there is actually gas in this vehicle. The battery is good. And the most important thing about vehicles is the engine quality. When you're inspecting them, look at the engine quality and the battery. If these two things are in good working order, batteries can even be replaced, but, you know, we don't have one right now. If these two things are in good working order, the vehicle itself will run. And that is the most important part. The gas tank has gas. I have to make the very difficult decision of, do I want to loot the rest of this building or do I want to break the window? I'm going to opt to loot the rest of this building first before we break the window on that thing. We have spent most of the day looking for a car at this point, but it is a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. So we're going to go right into the back, the last area we haven't searched, look for this key, and who knows, we might get lucky. One in the holding cell there. Doubt we're going to find it in the holding cells. It's probably going to be in like one of the offices if it's going to be anywhere. But it doesn't look like it. No luck this time. Nope. Okay. No key, which means we're going to break the window. Oh! Woo! I'm glad I reacted quick enough on that door. Very, very close encounter there. Stood right beside the door. Now let's smash this window. Sadly, still no key, and I would actually have to break into the back of the vehicle as well to check the back. Now, we've gathered a bit of attention here. Let's show off a little bit of the shooting, and then we're going to try and escape. So now, you can see the aiming is entirely different, and I actually need to aim. It's also not as easy to kill multiple zombies at once with a shotgun anymore. Ooh, tiredness. That makes this escape a little bit more drastic. Okay, so we've attracted more zombies than we want to, so what do? Now, I can outpace these guys at a walking speed. That's the very first thing. We want to use running in short bursts. There is no reason for us to sprint either. We can jog when we want to outrun them. There is zero reason for me to use sprint. Sprint uses way too much of our endurance. We don't need to use it. The next thing is put hard objects between you and them. Break their line of sight, and then once you've done so, that's when you run. So we've broken their line of sight. I'm taking an alternate route. That's when we then use jog to increase that distance between us. So we're increasing the distance. I'm not just running away in a straight line. I've drawn those zombies. I've taken a windy path, which is going to interrupt their line of sight and make them forget where I was. See, they're still headed to where I last was, my last known location, and they're not going to know what's happening. And just like that, I've lost them. Now, you'll also notice that I'm heading back towards an area where I've already cleared. That's also part of that maneuver. Ideally, as you're running away from zombies, we want to go back to areas that we've already checked out. There's no reason for us to run into a new area while trying to lose zombies, because the chances are there's going to be more zombies in those areas, right? We don't know what's around the corner. We haven't cleared them yet, but this is relatively safe and we know that. So there's no reason to go to a new area when we can just go through this area we've already cleared. We had no luck, sadly, with the vehicle at the police station, and we're coming to the end of day 3 already, which leaves me in a little bit of a predicament as to what I want to do next. I think we're going to need pretty much like one more day just to try and go and find a vehicle. Otherwise, we'll just move stuff over by hand to our ideal base location. We'll bite that bullet, as it were, and we'll just go live there instead. But you can see, even though I used a gun there, you know, I'm not locked into death. You'll hear some people saying that, like, oh yeah, if you use a gun, you're gonna get yourself killed. Not necessarily the case. You can make it out alive in those kinds of situations. So we're back at base. I would say a pretty good way for us to go about this next would be to barricade the rest of these windows. Well, we've still got some life in us. We do have to do a little bit of building, or a little bit of barricading still. And it does serve a purpose. It is going to allow us to learn a little bit of carpentry, which is important. We got these garbage bags, which we can use for a rain collector later. Now, I could just drink this soda, and obviously, like, we wouldn't need to sleep the night. That is a thing we can now do. But to be honest, I don't really want to get used to that, because we know it's not intended. It is a bug right now, so we're not going to get used to that. One thing I have noticed as well with Build 42 after some playing today. Some axes seem to be bugged when it comes to their durability. So they don't have durability like they used to. It's not just a flat durability modifier. They have head condition, handle condition, and sharpness. My assumption is that sharpness should be reduced when cutting down trees, but it doesn't seem to right now, at least with some of the axes we tried earlier. I don't know if anybody else has noticed whether this is working as intended or whether we think that's bugged right now. But yeah, cutting down trees doesn't seem to affect that whole process currently. I can hear... Is that me panting? I think it's me panting. I thought I heard a zombie, but I think it's us. So sawing logs does currently build carpentry XP. And there's also another thing to keep in mind. And we can actually give you the exact number here because we don't have any XP boosts on carpentry right now. Technically, I think the best way to do this would just be to watch the Life and Living show, but in the interest of getting the buildings barricaded with the end of our day. So 0.25 for sawing that log. Not a lot. Not a lot at all. So again, we're doing 2 planks when we barricade so that we can still see through the window. And we've still got some more wood out there, so we can do the same with that. This should give us plenty. And then I think it will be time for bed. The end of day 3. Not as much as I would have liked to have gotten done today. I think we've essentially managed to identify the location of a water dispenser, which is a big goal for us. So we do now have a water dispenser that we can go and loot. We've finished off our barricading, looted the police station, I guess. But that wasn't exactly on my list of things that we wanted to do. Just happened by proxy while we were looking for a car. Okay, so we're gonna have to just make do with 1 on here if we want to keep that good sleep schedule, but that's okay. Now, in the interest of me getting the most out of my day tomorrow, we're just gonna let our characters sleep as long as they want. So we have maximum awake time. We're only just starting our 4th day. We are now losing weight, which means that I need to start putting some more calories in. If we get down to below 75, we become underweight, and that affects our stats negatively. So we do want to try and keep that weight on. But that is it for day 3. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully that was informative for you guys. And day 4 will be coming at you very soon. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all in the next one.